You're in a meeting room, and your chest starts hammering before you even lift a hand. Bright panels buzz overhead. Your fingers catch on the chair fabric. Then your manager asks for comments, paper slides across the table, and every face turns. Your mouth goes dry. The sentence is there, but it suddenly feels heavy, harder to push out. A simple thought now lands in your body like danger. You know this feeling. You call it weakness, bad confidence, a private glitch this room somehow pulls out of you. It is none of those things. This reaction did not begin in office culture. It was shaped under hierarchy pressure and mating competition, where a badly timed signal in front of watching others could bring punishment, loss of standing, and exclusion. What you feel is a status alarm, a built-in vigilance around exposure when speech could change where you stood. And it is still charging a price now. A pattern that once helped humans stay careful under powerful eyes can still seize the body in harmless rooms and make public speech feel loaded with danger. This runs deep into the human past. Humans have lived in social groups with rank differences for tens of thousands of years, and that kind of watching leaves marks. Not on a few unusually nervous people. On nearly everyone. The feeling has such a personal texture that you mistake it for your own flaw, yet it belongs to a species that spent generation after generation reading faces, rank, approval, and threat. That scale matters. If something is old enough, repeated enough, and useful enough under pressure, it stops feeling inherited and starts feeling like you. So when your mouth dries and your chest pounds before one sentence, the moment is no longer just awkward. It is evidence. Humans have lived in social groups with rank differences for tens of thousands of years. Your body is carrying that fact into the room, and it does not care that the room has a whiteboard. The system did not stay in the past. It still switches on in live moments of exposure. You stand to give a toast at a wedding, glass in hand, and the room goes quiet in that particular way that says attention has narrowed to one person. Before you finish the first line, your heartbeat surges. Your tongue feels less obedient. The body has already moved before the mind can explain why. That is the unsettling part. Nothing here is attacking you. No blow is coming. No one is driving you from shelter. Yet the response arrives with the force of an emergency, as if being watched while you speak is serious enough to deserve immediate preparation. It is not remembering in a poetic sense. It is executing. The old caution remains active at the exact edge where exposure begins. Not after humiliation, before it, at the threshold. In the instant when a voice has to cross open air and land under other people's attention, the body behaves as though the stakes might still be larger than the room admits. So the feeling returns in a new form. The chest kicks hard, the mouth turns spare, and a harmless audience acquires weight it did not earn. The body is responding to a social moment, as if consequences still live behind every set of watching eyes. To understand why, you have to go back to the human world that trains silence and timing to matter. In a small human group, rank was never abstract. It touched food when portions were uneven, allies after a fight, protection when conflict started, and mating chances when others were watching. Public behavior mattered because everyone saw it. A challenge spoken at the wrong time, an interruption aimed too high, a boast that overreached. Even a visible stall before speaking could become status information in real time. Under those conditions, caution before exposure was useful. The body did not wait for a blow. It prepared at the edge of risk. Heartbeat climbed so action was ready if the exchange turned hard. Attention tightened onto faces, posture, tone, and the space around the dominant figure. Saliva fell off because easy speaking and digestion were not the priority anymore. The point was not eloquence. The point was not provoking a stronger rival when the group was listening. Humans who felt that pressure early could hold back, read rank, choose timing, and avoid making themselves a target in front of witnesses. In a world where tolerance could shrink after one bad display, that restraint had value. You still carry the same shift now. Before a sentence leaves your mouth, your chest can speed up, your attention can lock onto the room, and your mouth can turn dry. The same body changes that once sharpened caution in front of powerful eyes also makes smooth speech harder the instant exposure begins. Now put yourself on a late train platform after dark. One person near the edge keeps staring, steps closer, and starts talking like they want a reaction. In that moment, The old response fits. Your heart speeds up. Your focus narrows onto distance, exits, hands, and tone. Casual chatter shuts down before you say something reckless back. That is not failure. It is control under pressure. A body that treats social threat as important can still protect you when another human is testing you in public, and the exchange could turn physical. Faster heartbeat readies movement. Narrowed attention cuts out distraction. A dry, quiet mouth means less loose speech at exactly the wrong time. The world changed. The response did not vanish. It still earns its place whenever status pressure and danger overlap closely enough that one wrong signal could make a bad encounter worse. Then you notice the same pattern in safer rooms. Your chest tightens before speech. Your tongue feels thicker. Words are screamed harder before they leave. The body is using an old rule with brutal consistency. When exposure feels high, speaking stops being simple. Then the contradiction appears. You are seated at a table, nothing in the room is attacking you, and a senior person turns their attention your way. Your body answers as if open conflict is near. Safety is present. The reaction is present too. You take a sip of water before introducing yourself to a new group, then stand and feel your mouth dry out again within seconds. The tongue drags. The first words come out less clean than they sounded in your head. The threat is only attention, yet the body has already shifted away from easy speech. Later, you are called on in a classroom or training session for a simple answer you know. Before you speak, attention folds inward and upward. You start checking each word before it leaves, listening for how it will sound, measuring the faces in front of you. The answer gets slower as the monitoring gets tighter. So the old warning stays loyal to rank long after rank stopped deciding whether you eat that night. Your pounding chest and dry mouth are real, and the room still does not justify them. A system built to prevent one costly display can keep reaching for danger, where only an audience remains. You have the dissenting point ready, the numbers are in front of you. Then a senior person looks up, waits, and the room goes still enough for you to hear a pen click 2 seats away. Your chest starts driving harder. Your mouth thins out again. The sentence that was clear a second ago now has to pass through checks it did not need. You stay quiet, and the price is immediate. Calm is gone before you speak. Then freedom goes with it. The point remains in your head while the conversation moves on without you. Later it happens in a job interview. 3 people across the table. One asks the easy version first, then all 3 hold eye contact for the real answer. The old rank rule is already running. You stop tracking the whole exchange and start tracking your own delivery. Is your voice steady? Did that pause look weak? Did that answer sound smaller than it should? Focus leaves the content and moves to status management. You burn energy on surveillance instead of thought. Then there is the microphone at a reception desk or community event. Your name is called. Faces turn. The first line catches not because the words are gone, but because your body has assigned the moment too much weight. Speech inhibition under status threat is not abstract. It steals timing. It breaks rhythm. It makes you sound less certain than you are. You feel it in the mouth first, then in the chest, then in the delay before the sentence finally leaves. Dry mouth is a common threat response because easy speaking drops in priority when the body shifts toward defense. And the modern world keeps building more moments that look enough like rank exposure to wake it again. At the office introduction circle, the mismatch finally gives itself away. Nothing is happening except attention. No blow, no expulsion, no lost meal by nightfall. Yet a line of faces and one higher-ranking voice are enough. That is the answer. The trigger was never physical attack by itself. It was exposure under watch, especially when rank sat inside the audience. Modern life reproduces that pattern constantly, cleanly, and at scale. That is why knowing better does so little. You can tell yourself the room is safe, while your body reads the older fact first. Many eyes on one speaker, a boss at the table, a panel across from a chair, a toast before relatives whose approval still matters. The signal reaches you before your reasoning can downgrade it. Culture, memory, and practice can intensify it. They do not have to invent it. So you try the obvious fixes. You rehearse the sentence in advance. The words still tighten when the senior voice says your name. You grip a glass of water, and your mouth dries again once the audience settles onto you. You tell yourself, nobody cares that much, then start listening to your own voice for cracks the instant you begin. Willpower is aimed at the wrong level. The reaction is already in motion. You feel the failure of control as a split second of disbelief. You know the answer. You know the room is ordinary. Your heartbeat still outruns the moment, and your attention still bends toward rank and witnesses before it returns to meaning. Harmless audiences can still trigger stage fright because the world now mass produces the exact social pattern this warning system was built to treat seriously. Then it closes in during the smallest public task. You are asked to introduce a guest on stage at a charity dinner. Nothing hostile is in the room. People are smiling. Glassware settles. Then the crowd goes quiet. The chair of the event looks toward you, and the old pressure hardens at once. Your tongue feels thick. Your chest starts hammering. Instead of saying the first line, you start listening to your own voice before it has even arrived. This is where the cost stops looking minor. The reaction is not just unpleasant. It can interfere with speech itself. Heart pounding, mouth drying, attention narrowing onto witnesses and rank, fluency breaking under the weight of being observed. The old solution for careful public behavior becomes the thing that blocks the public behavior. In a world where the audience usually cannot exile you, hit you, or cost you a meal, the threat state still charges your voice as if the consequences were immediate. Culture can sharpen it. Memory can sharpen it. Lack of practice can sharpen it. But they are not the root pattern.